Hassler here. I just wanted to give you some quick hints to help you with this 4.3 practice with the first derivative test, and this is practice number 1. So I'm just going to go through a couple of the problems and just make some hints and reminders for you so that you can hopefully complete this on your own or with a friend, and in addition use the 4.3 notes that we worked on in class. So in problems 1 and 2, both of them say find and classify any critical values for the f function. And as a reminder, in order to find critical values, you're looking for when f prime of x is equal to 0 or when f prime of x does not exist. And f prime of x would not exist if you have a vertical asymptote, meaning some rational function where x is in the denominator, okay? If you were to have a jump discontinuity, that would require you to have piecewise functions, which we do not have here, or a hole. And again, a hole would occur if you have a rational function with a variable in the denominator. 1 and 2 do not have those, and so I don't have to worry about the f prime of x does not exist, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my critical values. A critical value, remember, is an x value for f of x where a minimum or maximum occurs. Now, obviously, you don't want to be writing these notes directly on this document, or else you're not going to have any room to do the problem. I'm simply writing on this document to give you hints for particular problems, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find the derivative. You're going to set that derivative equal to 0, and you're going to solve for x, okay? Once you solve for x, you're then going to make a sign chart. And that sign chart is specifically for f prime of x. And when you create that sign chart for f prime of x, sorry about that, when you create that sign chart for f prime of x, whatever x values you found as your critical values, those are the x values that go on your sign chart for f prime of x, okay? And you evaluate f prime of x on each interval. Now, I just drew in 2 little tick marks here, but sometimes you'll have 1 critical value, sometimes you'll have 2, sometimes you'll have 3, so don't read into the fact that I drew 2 tick marks. I was simply just indicating that those where your critical values would go, okay? And then the last thing that you're going to do is you're going to classify. And classify means that you are going to make the determination if that x value is a min, max, or neither for f of x, okay? And so that goes back to the whole idea, and you're going to do the same thing for problems 1 and 2. So I'm just going to write into problem 2. This goes into the whole idea that you say f of x has a blank, min or max, at x equals blank, wherever the x value is, because f prime of x changes from blank to blank, okay? That's the what does it have, where, that's the x equals, and the y. And all of this goes to justifying your answer. So when I say fully justify, in the end, you may need to make some statement identifying what is happening for the f function, a minimum, maximum, or neither. Where is that happening? So what is the critical value or the x value in which that min or max occurs? And why, or how do you know that's happening? It's happening because the slopes are changing from negative slopes to positive slopes. That would be a minimum, or positive slopes to negative slopes. That would be a maximum. So that's what you're doing for problems 1 and 2. Okay. Problem 3 already gives you f prime. Look at that. Let f prime of x equal this polynomial function, this product. Find the critical values. So you're still going to go through and do the same thing. You're going to find the critical values. That's the x values where f prime of x equals 0 or f prime of x does not exist. And determine whether they are relative, min, max, or neither. Justify your answer goes back to this idea right here, okay? The what, the where, the why. I'm just going to leave you with that, right? Again, f prime of x is given, and to find the critical values, you're looking where f prime of x equals 0. You're going to find the critical values, okay? Find critical values. I'm abbreviating. You're going to make a sign chart, and then you are going to classify / justify. Okay? Problem 4. Ooh, look at problem 4. Same idea. Let f prime of x equal this stuff. Look at that. F prime of x is given, but here's something that's interesting, okay? Where g of x is less than 0 for all x. An interpretation of this is just that g of x, which by the way is right here, is negative. So you have to consider that when making the sign chart. I'm just say pay attention when making sign chart. Okay? Okay. Well, best of luck to you, and remember, be ready to ask me questions in class tomorrow.